Hi David, thanks for your time as ever. Let's start with a squad update. How's the squad looking ahead of this weekend?
Good so far. After last game, the only one where we were a little bit worried about was Johnny. He felt a little bit sore after the last game and his extended minute. We made a scan to calm everyone down, which luckily was clean. He was back in the group today the first time. I expect him to train normal and to be in the matchday squad as well for Saturday, but obviously the start of the season we treated him individually, so it looks like that the full squad of last time is available, plus Grant, who had a complete week of team training. I have a conversation, a chat with him tomorrow after training, how we will treat him at the weekend, but he trained well without any issues.
Yeah, I was going to ask on that front, him coming back in, is that sort of taking him out of team training, putting him on an individual programme, has that had the effects that you wanted and he wanted to see, or is it a bit too early to tell at the moment?
Nah, maybe it's a little bit too early, but everything what I've seen now in training in this 3 sessions was absolutely fine. He feels better, which is the most important thing. When I've spoken with him, he feels different, and obviously now some further weeks of team training will help to get him back to his best.
And the two I wanted to ask you about, Dembele and Hernandez, I think Onel you sort of said would be post-season, but we all hope there's some more games after that. Is there any potential for those guys to come back, sort of if we look at the season with an extra bit on?
Yeah, listen, I think first of all we should do the final step now on Saturday. Obviously, because of yesterday's result, the cards are on the table. We are one step away, and this is what it's all about on Saturday. Demi is back in team training if everything goes to plan next week. Onel will take time. This is the situation. So hopefully everything progresses like we hope, and we have back Demi next week in team training.
You mentioned it there, but the result last night, probably, the goal difference, a win on Saturday would take you pretty close. There's obviously a goal difference thing and maybe need a favour from Ipswich in the process. But does that focus minds, the fact now that it feels like one last step? Has that sort of concentrated everyone, if that was necessary, sort of in the last few days?
Yeah, obviously everybody loves clarity. And we now have the clarity, so we are exactly in the position which we always wanted to have, being in the driver's seat. Now, as I said, the cards are on the table, one step to go, and this is for us Saturday against a very good side. Everybody knows it. 3 wins in a row, didn't concede in 3 games, play with a lot of freedom, play football, but to be totally honest, we respect, like we all respect all our opponents, but in this game, it's about this final step, and this is crystal clear, and this is exactly where we are all excited about to do this, and to do this at home, and to do this on Saturday.
I think you spoke about the atmosphere ahead of last week's game, but I guess you'd reiterate that message. You need the fans to help you with that one final push as well, to help you guys get over the line.
Yes, of course, we do, but we do as well that we perform to our best level in ball possession, with outball possession as well, that we put the highest possible intensity and emotion on the pitch, and this obviously then leans on what we expect from our supporters and the stands as well. They know as well it's one step to go to reach the first target of us, and yeah, good to know it, nice to speak about it, but the most important thing is to deliver, and this is exactly what I expect us to do, all of us on the grass, and our supporters on the stands as well, that we have this unity to make this final step together.
You mentioned Swansea there, and the fact that they come into this game with 3 wins on the spin. Is it similar to Bristol City in terms of the fact you're playing an opponent who, even though they perhaps haven't got a lot to play for, that can create a lot of freedom in a team, can't it, as perhaps we saw last week?
Yeah, this is what we expect. Good that we experienced it a week ago. Good to that we've seen what we should do, what we shouldn't. And now let's show that we learned our lessons and The difference is the clarity which we have now for this game. And this is a little bit the difference maybe, even if we have known it a little bit before the game, but not for 100%, and now we know it for 100%. And this is exactly where, we really look forward to this game to make it happen.
What do you make of the job that Luke Williams has done so far? I think they've had a few mixed results, but it feels like maybe he's taking steps in the right direction for them now. Obviously, a coach who has been at Notts County and done a very good job there. What do you make of sort of looking in from the outside on what he's done so far at Swansea?
Yeah, mostly as a manager, you need a little bit of time to get your message across, to make sure that everybody is on board. What they've done now in recent weeks looks good, very good, and this is not only but a lot of work which they've done as a manager with his backroom staff. So we are aware about this. Doesn't change our aim.
I think he as a coach and they as a club are quite maybe not unique, but they know what they like to see in terms of style of play, and it's very possession based and has been sort of for a few managers going back, Russell Martin, Graham Potter, etc. When you're sort of facing a side like that who is so ideological in terms of what they want, and I know you like to focus on yourself, but does it help in terms of preparations that you know what to expect and maybe there aren't that many sort of surprises?
Yeah, I think there will be more or less no surprises. I think their approach, their idea, their style is clear. Obviously, we've seen quite well when you speak about Southampton and Russell Martin that ball possession does not mean a lot if you've seen less result when Leicester played them. It's sometimes nice to have, but if you are calm in your head, don't get frustrated. Ball possession does not mean anything in terms of the outcome and of the result, but they have their idea, they have their style. We have our weapons for sure as well, and we like to show them.
One player I did want to ask you about was obviously Shemswell Poyet. I know I think he's injured and is going to miss this weekend. But I mean, what have you made of his early weeks there? I think there's a little bit of debate there end about whether they're going to keep him beyond the season. I'm sure as someone who's worked with him, you would advise them to do that. But what have you kind of made of his start there?
From the distance, everything what I've seen, to be fair, was I think he made a good impression. The time where he was healthy, played a good part. Obviously, I was the one who really support him to make this step, because I really liked him as a person, and obviously as a player he has some certain skills with his speed. Unfortunately, with only 6 months left, he wanted to move on. We had the one or other conversation which would be maybe the right choice for him, and then he decided to take Swansea. Everything what I've seen, but again, this is from the distance, I think he has shown what he's capable of in the game time which he got as long as he was healthy.
In terms of this game, and I know you spoke afterwards in terms of it not being your best performance last week, does that add extra motivation to I guess maybe if there's an element of putting something right, does that feeling creep into this week's game? Is it one that you just shrug off? Can you use it as motivation?
To be totally honest, if someone needs an extra motivation for this game on Saturday, then he is not from this planet and not a competitor in terms of football. And this is why I'm quite relaxed on the mindset of motivation for us as an individual, for us as a group, for us as a football club, for us, everyone who is in the stadium. We don't need this extra motivation, and this is exactly what I feel. This is exactly what I personally feel. This is exactly what I like to feel on Saturday in the stadium from everybody as well. That everybody knows exactly what we are playing for.
Well, one thing I do want to ask you, because I think it maybe got lost slightly, but last weekend, West Brom losing, you getting a point, it's brought 5th place back into play. I mean, you've always spoken about the top 6 being your target. So I don't know, is it does it matter to you if you finish fifth or sixth? Is that in your mind? Do you see there being any advantage from finishing fifth as opposed to finishing sixth?
For me, at the end of the day, it's to win football matches, and we have 2 left. We are only focused on the next one, and this is what counts for me. What the outcome at the end of the day is today, it's for me totally irrelevant. It's about Saturday, and only about Saturday, nothing more.
We obviously got to ask you about the Player of the Season award, which is voted on by fans. Kenny McLean winning that. I know you've spoken about his importance all season. So I guess if you were given a vote, would it have gone to Kenny, given what he's achieved and what he's done and the importance that he's had for your side this season?
Yes, I would have chosen him as well. But the truth is, as well, I was a little bit surprised that so many of our supporters has chosen him as well, because normally the players who score the goals, the players who are super strong in the spotlights win awards like this, and this is naturally because of his position not what normally Kenny gets, but this only shows how sensible and how smart our supporters are when they vote for him, and he fully deserved this award. I'm very happy that he got it. Obviously, he is in this football club quite a while. He got now this award and his rewards. Maybe he improved. I only can judge the time when I'm here with him. I don't know exactly what he has done and how he was before we are here. But since we are here, you have to judge, does he improve since we arrived? But what I can say is he is an outstanding athlete, a top trainer, super competitive mindset, very emotional, and I think one of his big improvements since we worked together is that he was able to control his emotions, that he does not get out of the game for 10-15 minutes when his emotions were not or got driven away. This is, I think, one of his biggest improvements, and he is one of the most reliable, or maybe the most reliable player which we have, and I'm very, very happy for him. And apart from this, he is a good person as well.
I remember you speaking when you first came in about how good you thought he was, and I think you slightly tweaked his role to put him in a slightly deeper role. Has he surpassed what you expected from him? Has he reached levels that maybe you didn't anticipate, or has this form not come particularly as a surprise to you?
No, to be totally honest, obviously when you join a football club, you look a little bit on certain individuals, and I more or less expected, that for him, even if his age, I know what we can do when we work with players, how we can improve them. Even in his age, there are some very, very good steps which he can go. Nobody should forget he played, I don't know how many games as a left-footed centre-half as well, where we got a lot of criticism at the beginning why we've chosen him if we have alternatives, and he has done outstanding on this position as well. I think he was nominated for the Player of the Month in the championship as well on this position. So it only shows what a very football intelligent person he is.
You had Jonathan Hogg at Huddersfield. I know there's probably differences between the two, but are there also a lot of similarities that you see between those two in terms of the importance that they have in your sides and your system? Do you see them in sort of a similar way?
No, there are differences, but the similarity which they both have, they are competitors and they like to win, and this is something what you have to have in your team. Competitors and football players who like to win football matches, and this is what both of them have.
A bit of club news elsewhere. Dan Barden got given a new contract after everything that he's been through, obviously with cancer, and I know he's had a very serious knee injury as well. It's very nice on a human level to see that. I mean, what qualities do you see in him as a goalkeeper, and is he one that maybe next season you're looking at sort of getting out on loan to get more regular minutes into?
Yeah, no, we come from the human perspective when you speak about D, but the truth is, obviously, I came into the building and then quite early he got this serious ACL injury. But I just had a chat a few weeks ago with Clem. When he is with us in training, there is a proper goalkeeper in him. I always said this to him when I've spoken with Clem. Unfortunately, he didn't get a lot of game time in the past. Clem will have a very good plan with him in place for 100%. How this plan looks like, we will decide next season after the pre-season. But he has an interesting profile and even still young. And if you consider how much months or years he missed already in this young age because of his circumstances in terms of training and football, you only can imagine how good he can be, maybe. And this is exactly where Clem will work with him in the next couple of years.
Another player I wanted to ask you about was Abu Kamara, obviously now won the title at Portsmouth. As a first season really in senior football, I know he played a few minutes here and there last year. How impressive is it that he's been able to have the impact that he's had in a first loan as well, which people speak about as being really difficult? The fact that he's had so many minutes and contributed so much and been a key part of a side that's done really well this season.
Yeah, that I rate Abu as a player and as a character. I think everybody knows. This is why I gave him in the last season his first minutes here in the Championship. The special thing for me is now obviously everybody speaks about his numbers and promotion, but he had a difficult spell at the beginning and went through it. So it was not everything easy, smoothly, and everything happened quick. So he really had to improve, obviously take informations on board, settle in a new environment, and you easily as a young lad can break down in a situation like this. But he stood up, fought, and I'm very, very happy that he got his reward, and obviously Portsmouth as a football club as well.
How excited are you to work with him again in pre-season? As you said, they're a player that you really rate.
Yeah, obviously I haven't seen him for a year. Okay, I've seen him in clips and on TV, but not in person. And a year can make a lot with a young professional. And obviously this is then exciting to see how he responds to what we have in place for him.
And just finally from me, yesterday as well, the club announced that Mark Atanasio's sort of shareholding had been ratified. I appreciate, maybe can't offer too much of that in terms of a financial perspective, but you spoke about clarity earlier on. That clarity is probably welcome for everybody in the club, even here sort of in the football department. Yeah,
of course, but to be fair, for me, as I understood it, it was more formal rather than a doubt. So now we have this formal as well. It was clear for me or for us anyway beforehand. And hopefully we all together can push forward quick.
Good stuff. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Connor.